let him just working on this thing for a bit, probably some time. Ready? Ready.
I don't think we go.
Ready.
No internet connection. You're rolling, right? All right. So, fortunately, my internet here says nothing, and we bought a hotspot that we thought we'd be able to get back into the dyno room and get service, but for some reason we're not getting enough service to be able to go live tonight. But we do want to show you that we are on hardline, like Rob said, and we're in the engine room in the dyno, and this dyno is obviously a normal engine dyno, but we've had to do a lot of things to be able to run a two-cylinder engine on it, as well as we built a system that simulates the whole vehicle. So this is where the oil tank is, the actual vehicle. This is where the radiator sits. These are all of our overflow tanks. Um, we got our charcoal canister here. We've got another breather over here, and it sits in the car. As you would be sitting in the car, you'd be facing this way, and the engine would be back behind you. So the radiator's at the position it would be at. All the hoses are kind of in here. It allows us to really get a good feel on what's happening. And this is Friday night at 9 o'clock and maybe even 9:30. And as you see, Tony and Josh, the guys have been on the motor pretty much all day long, which is really cool. And we just finished up one run, a power run, and now they're doing some fuel calcs. They've got a system that they're doing. I think they're actually on E85 fuel right now, where they spent the whole day on normal 91 octane unleaded gasoline. So it's been a lot of fun. We're learning a lot. This is actually the third vision of a speed engine. This has all of our latest stuff. This is the stuff that everybody saw at Sand Sports. This is actually engine out of the black and orange car from Sand Sports. And we did go out to the desert, we tested them, then we came back, took them all apart, made sure everything was good and kosher. Saw a bunch of little small things that Tony wanted to tune up. A lot of stuff in the oil system, and we'd like to see a little more scavenge oil still. We'd like to see a little more vacuum built in the engine. There's things that we want to do to make it more reliable. We're not looking for ultimate performance right now. We're looking for reliability. So I think we're about where we can fire it up again and let you guys see it running. And we'll go from there. Tony just topping off all the systems one more time. Like I said, we thought we'd be running at 9 o'clock, and we've just been a little bit off on our schedule. So it happens, and this is what happens when you're doing development and R&D. And like I said, we're working on reliability right now, not power, not, what can we get at UTV Nationals next weekend. We honestly don't care about that power. We're looking for reliability, long-term reliability for the enjoyable side of our business. If you look at the whole business thing, you'd say, oh, Robbie Gordon building a UTV, it would be maybe 50% racers. The reality is it's probably 1% of our total business model is the racing aspect. Even though it has a racing pedigree, and the racing side of it is what has allowed us to develop so fast to have actual full running motors. But this is stuff that we didn't do at Arctic or Textron, or I never saw it at Polaris. And I wanted to do it with my NASCAR program, but we were never really in the right position to do it. And to be able to have a full car system with the cat, with the muffler, turbos, hoses, it allows us to actually look at everything and understand exactly what happens. When we were doing the first development, we obviously ran on the dyno water, the dyno fuel tanks. This has a fuel tank with one of our stock pumps down in it. We're running full engine systems, and this is really the way we need to be running. And I think the guys have done a great job last 7 days from the time we left Sandsport to get this thing built and have a simulation on the dyno like what we run in the production speed UTV. So they're going to go ahead and fire it up. I'll stay in here. It's amazing how quiet it is. Last time when we were in the dyno, I could barely hear. This time I will video it from this point on, and I'll post it onto Instagram here in a little while. But let's go ahead and fire it up, boys. That there is basically what we've been doing, and it's just so loud in here. I can't do a dyno pull with that. That's sitting there about 5,000 RPM, and just allowed us to learn what the fuel is and what the fuel burn is, because when we do normal driving, it's not always wide open. There's a lot of on the freeway, 60 mile an hour on a gravel road, cruising along, just trying to maintain and get good fuel mileage. So they're working on fuel maps in every aspect of it, not just peak power all the time. We'll see you next week for a real show. This week it's been development all across Speed UTV on every aspect of it, from gearboxes over at Weddle to over here with Joey and Tony over at Arrington Engine to Josh tuning with the M-Tom stuff, basically getting this thing dialed. Really excited.